fit-for-purpose quality infrastructure system. By fostering confidence and integrity across the quality infrastructure system, accreditation empowers businesses to operate confidently and reliably in global markets. This commitment goes beyond economic growth. Strengthened accreditation systems contribute to environmental stewardship, social equity, and sustainable development, building a better future for all.
Great, so thank you to UNIDO for their messages there. Loads of different things in there, and I think one of the most important things is where they see accreditation as a key pillar in the robust quality infrastructure system, where the quality infrastructure provides the foundation for safe, reliable, and competitive products, services, and systems. Without standard of conformity assessment, there is no way that we can get anywhere like the level of reliability or consistency that people need. Now, accreditation is an important part of the system to ensure that conformity assessment bodies are competent, reliable, and that their results can be trusted. We also acknowledge UNIDO's important capacity building work, including the collaboration of member states to establish and enhance national and regional accreditation systems. And one of the really vital points that UNIDO make is that accreditation is not just about economic growth. It's also about a whole range of other things like environmental stewardship, social equity, and of course, sustainable development.
Thank you, Marcus. Now it's time to present the video from Foundation FSSC. The CEO will discuss how accreditation provides trust in the consumer goods industry.
Today on World Accreditation Day, I am proud to join the global community in celebrating this year's theme, Empowering Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises. This topic resonates particularly well with our purpose at Foundation FSSC, to provide trust and impact to the consumer goods industry. SMEs are vital to global food systems and industrial economies. They comprise over 90% of businesses worldwide and play a key role in providing employment and producing safe and healthy food. However, SMEs often face considerable challenges, such as limited access to markets, resource constraints, and growing demands for compliance. At FSSC, we believe every business, regardless of size and location, should have access to credible and affordable certification options. Designed to support organizations in implementing robust food safety management systems, our FSSC 22000 scheme has become the leading global food safety management standard that seamlessly integrates with other ISO management system standards. For small and medium-sized enterprises, our scheme FSSC 22000 means meeting international food safety standards, demonstrating continual improvement, and streamlining operations. These steps help prevent problems, minimize risks, and develop overall business performance. But our commitment to advancing supply chains does not stop at food safety. Empowering SMEs also means supporting ethical business practices and social responsibility. That's why we have developed the FSSC 24000 scheme, which focuses on social responsibility in the manufacturing and processing sectors. This certification addresses labor rights, decent working conditions, and human rights throughout the supply chain. FSSC is proud of the IFMLA scope approvals we have achieved for both our FSSC 22000 and FSSC 24000 schemes. It is great to work with the IF membership to promote FSSC schemes addressing food safety risks and social inequality in a collective effort to make the world a better place. Accreditation further plays a critical role in empowering SMEs by ensuring that certification is trustworthy, impartial, and internationally recognized. It gives the smaller businesses also a credible voice in global, but also national markets. Through accredited certification, SMEs can compete fairly, drive innovation, and build partnerships based on trust and transparency. We are proud to help shaping a safe and sustainable consumer goods industry, working alongside our partner accreditation and certification bodies to ensure our robust, reliable certification programs stay accessible and impactful, especially for SMEs. At FSSC, we are committed to continue our leadership roles within the IAF User Advisory Committee and the working groups on food and sustainability. On World Accreditation Day 2025, let's all acknowledge the critical role of accreditation in providing assurance and supporting SMEs to thrive in an ever more connected and responsible world. Thank you for celebrating with us, and happy World Accreditation Day. Cheers!
Thank you for these insights from FSSC of the value of accreditation and how its certification schemes support food safety and sustainability. Larger companies or multinationals are more likely to partner with SMEs with accredited conformity assessment, since it can confirm they reduce risk and ensure quality. So it's a very good insight. Also, the ILAC MRA and the IIF MLA allow this mutual recognition of accreditation conformity assessment, and that's make that easier for the SMEs to form partnerships in different economies. So that's very good also. And accreditation helps SMEs to compete on equal footing with larger companies during tenders on collaborative bids. So it's a very good news for SMEs. Marcus, what do you think?
Yeah, I think we've learned some fabulous stuff today, Veronica. And as we conclude the event, we'd like to thank everybody that's contributed to this year's celebration, and not just those people we've heard from today, but also how the IF and ILAC members will celebrate World Accreditation Day across the globe. I think the videos and the insights that we've been able to share with you today have reminded us all that accreditation is a foundation for progress, for resilience, and for trust in every sector of society. So a sincere thank you to all our speakers, and in particular to the SMEs who contributed their time, expertise, and shared their success stories of how accreditation works. Now, it's your voices that make this day not just a celebration, but a call to continue the work that we're doing, to continue the collaboration, to continue to do the best thing in empowering SMEs.
Yes, let's continue to strengthen awareness of the value of accreditation. We look forward to see you next year in the June 9, and until then, keep building confidence through accreditation. So Marcus, see you next year.
Yeah, good stuff. Good luck, everybody.
Listening through the presentation that were jointly made by ILAC and IAF, the representation from the different conformity assessment bodies who have had a big role to play in accreditation, and is aligned with our theme for this year. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, when you check your program, we are quite behind time. It is now 1:45, and with your permission, we would now do the breakout sessions. The breakout session is for 1 hour, so maybe if we could do the breakout session, then we'll be able to proceed for a late lunch, and then we now come back for the Assessor Award event. I have consulted and I've been told that if we go that direction, it will be better for us instead of going for lunch at this hour and then later on going for the breakout sessions. For the breakout sessions, allow me to just highlight that we have 4 different spaces, 4 different rooms. We intend to have the medical laboratory scheme remain here in this venue, and we also intend to have the testing and calibration team remain, but they are going to use behind side, while the medical laboratory scheme is going to use the front side. As advised, then we'll have the certification scheme assessors. You're going to proceed to Nyati. We have a room called Nyati on my left, so you just proceed to Nyati. And for the inspection, there's also another room called Kifaru. So inspection will be going to Kifaru. We'll have certification going to Nyati. Then testing and calibration will be joined together on the behind side of this hall. And then we'll have medical who are going to use the front side of the hall. In the meantime, as I said, we have a desk outside there. If there's an assessor who has a concern, a financial concern, or wants to update a CV or something, you can visit that desk for more information. We have officers who are ready to assist you. So at this juncture, we will tend to break, and then we have a 1-hour breakout session. From there, we proceed for our lunch, if there's no other question. Please be guided as such. Asanteni. And I think there is an arrangement so that they can also be able to join the different breakout sessions. So let us be moving in the interest of time. Allow me to give a small correction. We will not have the testing and calibration in this room. Your room has already been prepared, the adjacent room to this one, so testing and calibration will join the adjacent room to the main hall.
Watu wa medical lab, songeni hivi mbele tafadhali. We only have 1 hour. Okay, medical lab assessors. I'm sorry, I have been reminded you're not medical. Nyinyi si watu wa medical lab. Medical lab assessors, including POCT, biobanking, veterinary, biobanking, kujeni karibu. Oh, Robert. Okay, msisonge mbele zaidi, hapo pametosha. My dear cousins, please. Yeah, you know cousins love each other like we love each other in medical, isn't it? Yeah. Oh. So I will not be projecting much. I mean, it's 1 hour and we will need to have a few discussions, then move on. My name is Doris Mweni Mengo, for those who have never seen me. I know there are a number of you. Okay, I don't know if there's any. Yes, so I still remain Doris Mweni Mengo. Oh yes, and I added a name, Nyongesa. Yes. At last it happened. Eh? You've been waiting for a long time since we started working together. Yes, God has been faithful. Yes, so I don't know, it would be nice to introduce each other, isn't it? Please let us know your name, the organization you work for, and what, if you're a team leader or a technical assessor. And I will start from my...
Agnes Munyalo, team lead, stock technical assessor, independent. Morning. Oh, sorry, it's afternoon. I'm Ann Carano, technical assessor, independent. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Caroline Wambua, an independent assessor, medical technologist, and quality, what can I say? Quality lead at Relab Diagnostic Laboratory. We are at Professor Nelson Awori.
Good afternoon. Lucy Kamau, technical assessor, Nairobi Hospital.
Good afternoon. Richard Nyasimi, team lead assessor.
Good afternoon. Josephine Rioki, team lead assessor and technical.
Good afternoon. Beverly, technical assessor, both vet and medical from KEFS. KEFS is Kenya Fisheries Service.
Good afternoon. Rombo Liet, technical assessor. What else am I supposed to be saying? Institution. Okay, Kenya National Public Health Institute. Kitu ingine?
Good afternoon. Winnie Mutai from the University of Nairobi, technical assessor.
Good afternoon. Alfred Gitau, Mwai Kibaki Referral Hospital, team lead assessor.
Assalamu alaikum. Alfred Muia, veteran lead assessor, Kenya Medical Research Institute. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Kitangala Eric, Ministry of Health, HPTs, Technical Assessor.
Good afternoon, Brian Karanja, Intern, KENAS.
Hi everyone, my name is Shalom Wanjiro. I'm the medical intern in KENAS. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Victor Mutinda from the Karen Hospital, Technical Assessor, East Saito.
Good afternoon. My name is Joyce, Technical Assessor, Independent.
Good afternoon. I'm Burundi Dennis Kekunda, an Independent Assessor, Team Lead.
Good afternoon. My name is David Kenani, Technical Assessor from KENAS.
Good afternoon. I'm Evelyn Kutolo, Technical Assessor Trainee from MOH Kitale County Hospital.
Good afternoon. My name is Winnie Moga from KNH, Technical Assessor.
Good afternoon, colleagues. Daniel Wekesa, Technical Stroke Lead Assessor, now from Kilini Cottage Hospital.
Good afternoon. My name is Unita Atieno. I'm a trainee technical assessor. I work at Southeastern Kenya University. Thank you.
Good afternoon, members. My names are Ada Kusimba from Kenyatta University, trainee assessor.
Good afternoon, colleagues. My name is Jojo Dongo, Team Lead Stroke Technical Assessor, the Nairobi Hospital.
Good afternoon, colleagues. My name is Lucy Namo, Chief Manager Laboratories.
Good afternoon. My name is Martha Yator. I'm Principal Human Resource Officer. I'm here to learn from you. Yeah, since some of the time we handle some of the issues that are handled that were presented. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Charles Okendo, a Technical Assessor.
My name is Abdikar Mahmoud from KENAS. I'm a lead assessor.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Joseph Mongeshuru. I'm a technical assessor, not yet fully graduated as a technical assessor, and that is under ISO 15189 and biobanking. I work for KEMRI CCR as a lab manager, supporting clinical trials which are aligned to HIV and HPV studies. Asanteni.
Good afternoon. I introduced myself earlier, but for those who came late, I'm Robert Juguna. I'm working for KENAS. I'm a lead assessor for 15189, 17043, all that.
Good afternoon. My name is Joshua Odero, Technical Assessor with the Medical Scheme. ISO 15189, thank you.
I think everyone has introduced themselves. Okay. Who? Abdi. Oche. Hey, are you part of us? Come closer.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon again. Yeah, for those who are here a bit earlier, we interacted. But I'm an accreditation officer, scheme development. My key role is to develop new schemes for the organization. I'm currently here as a general rapporteur, so I'll be crisscrossing the other different breakout sessions.
Yeah, and he's also a trained assessor for medical. He doesn't want to say that. Some of your classmates are here.
Yeah, He seems not to like us anymore, but anyway, Ian, you're still ours. Yeah, Dr. Ryoki had mentioned something.
I had forgotten to tell you, I come from the University of Nairobi.
Thank you, Dr. And thank you, assessors, for gracing this World Accreditation Day and Assessor Conclave. Indeed, you know it is really important for all of us to keep on attending the Assessor Conclave each year. And it's for the purpose of even sharpening our own skills, isn't it? Yeah, so thank you so much for finding time. I don't know if our assessors online can hear us. The technical team behind there, they're good, right? Technical assessors, the guys from West Africa, from, let me see if I remember, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Gambia, Ghana, Rwanda, Burundi, Uganda, Tanzania, South Sudan, and our fellow Kenyans. Good afternoon. I hope you've heard me. It's really a pleasure having you in this meeting. I know some of you, it is really the first time, so feel welcome and feel at home. I hope we will be able to meet you one time physically, and especially meet this group of able people who are seated here physically and have a chat on how we do these assessments. But karibuni sana to this specific meeting. So as I had said, my name is Doris Mweni-Mengo, for those who don't know me. Manager Medical Laboratories Department, which houses proficiency testing, veterinary laboratories, proficiency testing, and now taking up diagnostic imaging, POCT, that's point of care testing, as well as biobanking. So it's quite a heavy department, but I'm so glad that I'm supported by so many assessors, and that's all of you, isn't it? In this journey of life, it's difficult to walk alone. And in this journey of accreditation, especially when it comes to our medical labs, it's hard to work alone. And I'm really glad that I've been able to walk with all of you. Some of them starting, these veteran people here, since 2009. Or even earlier, isn't it? Yeah, it could be earlier, 2008. I have some veterans here. And it's really been a pleasure working with you, and I hope we will continue working together. Now, because of time, and I don't want to storytell, we will go directly to this session. Of course, Robert will be helping me here and there because of my cough. I hope it's not COVID. I hear it's back. But if it's there, poleni sana. I hope stawambukiza. But anyway, yeah. So let's go to the first thing, that is any changes that come with ILAC and AFRAC in line with medical laboratories, proficiency testing, and veterinary accreditation. Not much, really. I haven't had any changes when it comes to this area of our concerns when it comes to ILAC and IAF, but maybe I will give a few updates when it comes to the specific standards. And the first one is the transition period of ISO 15189 2022. As you're aware, we started off the transition period back in 2022, December 5th. And the transition period ends this year, 30th June, not 30th June, let me use the ILAC one. It ends on the 4th December 2025 for ILAC. So we have been running the 3-year transition period, which we are coming to an end. And I thank you guys for really working with us to ensure that the medical laboratories that had been accredited to 2012 version have transitioned to 2022 standard. Indeed, it's been hard, right? It's really been hard trying to transition everyone. We are really doing badly, like I had told you in the chat group, for those ones who happened to see the chart. We are at 67%. Clearly, we are not going to make it. That's just the reality. We will not be able to make it by 30th June. But we will see what we shall do. Some of the issues that are making us not be able to transition appropriately include maybe the clients haven't fully paid. Now, KENAS nowadays, we don't give a grace period. We don't give grace to people who haven't paid their dues. And some of you could actually be coming from such CABs, isn't it? So if a client hasn't paid the fees related to accreditation, then we can't go in there to do the assessment. So that means some of them have not been assessed, and hence they will not be able to transition by 30th June. So that means by 1st July, then we shall start off what? Suspending those medical laboratories. I hope you are an assessor who works in a lab that has not transitioned, because it will be good that you take this to your management, that we shall suspend you, isn't it? If you know them, please tell them what they need to do. So that's the transition policy, and remember the word is KENAS transition policy. So our transition policy is mandatory, isn't it? It's ile ya kusema woye, hapa hakuna woye. I would really want a woye, but the woye time is coming to an end. So before I go to the next standard that is under transition, any question? No question on finance. The desk is outside there. Okay, so you guys are okay with the transition? No challenges? No challenges? Any challenges that you're facing during transition so that we sort it out here? Apparently, we're just sorting out issues for 2 weeks. Any challenge that you're coming across? Yes.
Thank you so much, Manager Doris, for what you have just shared with us. It's not really a challenge, but just a small concern. There are some facilities that we did the assessment just last week. So which means these guys are now working on the action plans for them to start bringing in their CAPAs. I don't know how we are going to support them, because I'm foreseeing 30th being so close, and there are others that are so not easy for them to have handled them by that time.
Any other before I take that one? I know most assessors are going through that one right now, isn't it? Including some labs that I also assessed somewhere. This is what you need to do. Just communicate to them the urgency. So communicate to them that they need to give the corrective action plan and the evidences before 30th of June. That's all we can do. I know we have been assessing some of them, maybe last week, but one. Some of them will still be assessed next week and even up to 30th June. Now, you know why I don't feel sorry again for most of them? It's because they knew and we told them. And majority of those assessments that are being conducted right now is because of clients pushing assessments, saying that they're not available, they're not ready, I don't know what has happened, you know. So they keep on pushing, knowing that there's a caveat. So I would really want to wish some of them, you know, to do something about some of them. And some of them do nothing, just suspend. But the best thing you can do, just tell them the urgency. If you need us to communicate, please let me know what client that is, so that we just do an email to them as early as Wednesday. Because I know there's a communication that is going to come from me from Wednesday, just letting them know what is going to happen from 1st of July. But fast track it, because I think majority what we are doing is fast track. Once we get to 1st of July, the letters will be out, but maybe God will touch us. And if he touches us the right way, we will see. But I don't see anything change from what is there in the transition plan or policy. Any other? Nyi wote mko sawa sawa. Twende to the next update. And Robert, can someone keep tabs on the time for me, so that we're on time for lunch? So the second update is on ISO IEC 17043/2023. As you're aware, I don't know the assessors for this standard are not here. Are they? Yeah, they don't seem to be here. But anyway, this is one of the standards that is domiciled in our department. So this standard was also revised and published on 8th May 2023. We are currently in the transition phase, again 3 years as per ILAC communication and as per KENAS transition policy communication that went out, I think, earlier in the year. So the suspension phase, I love suspension. The suspension phase starts on 1st January 2026, meaning they don't really have so much time for them to transition. Then we have a cutoff by ILAC on the 7th May 2026. Now, the beauty of 17043 is that we don't have many clients who will be transitioning. I think we will only be having about 3 transitioning. One already is being accredited to the standard because they applied directly. 3 are in the process, and I believe they will be assessed and a decision made before end of year. And the other ones are purely new, so they will not be covered under this transition period. So that one we are good to go with. Are we together? So one thing I would want to encourage you as assessors, very important to ensure, even as you do your assessment, you check in to see which EQA schemes your clients are participating in. And you remember with the new 15189, there is a silent requirement. And it's not so silent, it's really loud, isn't it? To ensure that the PT provider is accredited, right? So please, as you get to the EQA point 7 point something, make sure that the PT provider that the client is using is accredited to 17043. Being a Kenyan PT provider or elsewhere. And so if they're not using an accredited one, please let us know so that we know how to deal with that one. So the other thing is the new schemes that we have in the department. Oh yes, okay, so deadline for transition for 17043, good that Kemri is asking because they might just be caught there. The deadline for KENAS is 1st January 2026. That's when we start suspending, so that means the cutoff is 31st December 2025. Then the cutoff for ILAC is 7th May 2026. So that's where now we start doing the withdrawals of accreditation. So we have new schemes when it comes to our department, and I know some of you already have this information. So the first scheme that was developed by our able Mr. Ian Oche, is ISO 2387, that is the scheme on biobanking. ISO 2387. The standard is called biotechnology-biobanking-general requirements for biobanking. Now, biobanking across the world are accreditable, and that is a standard that is being used to accredit the biobanks. Very important to note, and this is me saying so proudly, and I wish I was Luo. Yes, not apparently, we are the first African accreditation body to offer this kind of accreditation. Yeah. That's how well we are doing, and we're really proud to bring this forth. And I would really be proud if it is a Kenyan biobank that is accredited first. Unajua hawezi leta chakula nyumbani, alafu ende kakulwe na majirani. Unaleta chakula kwanza home, inakulwa na sisters, then cousins can come later, isn't it? Yes, but biobanks. And I know there are quite a number of biobanks here, isn't it? My sister, I'm looking at you, I know your organization has a biobank. Camry, I know you do, isn't it? What were blood transfusion, right? Research bodies. I know you're here, so please do us the honors to ensure that we will be the first accreditation body in Africa, yes, but having the first biobank accredited back at home. Now, SANAS, after hearing that we are running as fast as what? What do you run as fast as what? People with CBC children. As a cat, a chain is in, as a cheetah, as an antelope. Okay, if you're running as fast as an antelope or a cheetah looking for an antelope, you would realize now from what I'm getting, SANAS has already started, is waking up. And when they wake up, they run really crazy. Because to them, hakuna vile wanaweza achwa nyuma na KENAS. But I mean, we started off, so we have to be the first ones, isn't it? Yeah, so please, we encourage you, assessors, and we encourage you as assessors working in these CABs to bring in your biobanks for accreditation. Do us proud. Most of you came for the biobank training, isn't it? The one that we had in ECA that was supported by BSI, British Standards Institute. Of course, we will be having, yes? Except genomics. But yes, we will be bringing in genomics people now that we have started having conversations with genomics, because even the standard 15189 is now strong on genomics, isn't it? So we are bringing in those people, and we are hoping, Mr. Charles, that you will bring in your genomics biobank, right? I don't know if it's a biobank or it's a repository. Yeah, I know sometimes there can be challenges between the two, but we will continue to demystify them. So that's the new scheme that is up for grabs, and we will be having more trainings for assessors to bring them up to speed. Very important to note that biobanks does not only cover medical laboratories, but 90% of the biobanks in the world are actually medical laboratory related. And that's because of the research really that happens here, including clinical trials, isn't it? So we will still have some biobanks if it happen apale, like in the plant area, right? So like Nairobi University would call them what? The herbarium. It's still a form of a biobank, isn't it? So those ones can also seek for accreditation when it comes to this new standard. So we already have a criteria that was developed that will help the biobanks implement this standard easily. It's already out. If you want it for your own facility, please go to the KENAS website and you will find it there. In case you're not able to find it there, watu wa medical ni hao hapa nyuma, they will definitely get to you. So as I had said earlier, we've trained assessors, we've trained CABs, but we will still be having more of this. And for us to ensure that we maximize on the reach out, we will be developing a marketing, not a strategy really. Mutete is there, who will assist us with how to reach out the biobanks in Kenya and in Africa. Of course, we've already had some contact with Africa CDC, who are doing a lot when it comes to biobanks, and there are quite a number of countries, 12 African countries that are interested in the accreditation of the biobank. So, simnaona mkuna kazi ya kufanya assessment, wale watu walikuja training, si ndio? Yeah, but I think there are other countries that have been showing interest. So please, don't lie low. Be on the surface so that we are able to see you, and especially when it comes to the assessment and the accreditation of biobanks under that specific standard. And now we have a new sub-scheme that was also developed by Oche and Evelyn, and this is diagnostic imaging. I think we had been talking about diagnostic imaging for a long time, isn't it? It's a conformity assessment area that really requires our input as medical laboratory assessors. Remember diagnostic imaging. The output of the imaging would be used by doctors to do what? To make decisions for treatment, isn't it? And at times, it supports medical lab, results. Like when it comes to TB treatment. You know, like when people are going to the universities, the first thing they do is what? Ask for a chest X-ray. And the chest X-ray is for what purpose? To check if there is lesions, isn't it? Related to TB. And that then can find us in the lab, right? Yeah, we are seeing some peculiar things. Please go to the laboratory for confirmation, or even vice versa. So very important for us to ensure that we bring in the aspect of quality in this area, and that was the need for us to develop that specific areas. We, in a sense, as human beings, have been victims, affected or infected. I don't know, infected might not be the right word, but affected. When it comes to diagnostic imaging, at times our patients, our relatives go to hospitals and they are told what, they have cancer or there's something. Or there's a misdiagnosis of a cancer, and then when they go to India or other laboratories or other hospitals, it comes out positive. Right? Yes, it's something very interesting, very peculiar. I don't want to be cut. I mean, we don't want our people to be cut, if that is the word to use. But if we are going to use this or embrace this new technology, then it needs to come with, meet the quality requirements and a safety, and also in line with ISO 15118. And that's where we all come in. Of course, people who already are team leaders in this Namnajijua, we will definitely use you in this specific scheme, but we shall do training for technical assessors. Now, these are the radiologists, the sonographers, the radiographers, so that they assist us when it comes to accreditation of this specific area. So we've already rolled out the criteria. We already had a regulators meeting earlier this year. I think that was in February. That was supported by BSI. And it went out well. So there's already market for us. So it's now upon KENAS, supported by Mutetei, to actually do the marketing, because there is need. And the need is not only in Kenya, but I've been having discussions with our counterparts in Tanzania. Yulitha, that's our assessor in Tanzania. They are really ready for this, including University of Butare in Rwanda, isn't it? I know there's someone there, Innocent, I had seen earlier, who are really interested. So Kenyans, we can't be left behind. I'm trying to whisper so that they don't hear. But anyway, they might have heard. But anyway, you will be the assessors who will be in charge of this. So we are looking also for funds to see how we can start off the training for assessors and CABs when it comes to this standard. Remember, when you talk to a radiographer, a sonographer, a radiologist, they will tell you they are not medical lab people. Cynthia? They're not medical lab. So we are trying to demystify the standard to them, as much as it's called ISO 15189, requirements for quality and competence in medical laboratories. It can be quite tricky for them So we will definitely need to get funds to see how we can demystify the issue of usage of this standard when it comes to their own practice. With 2022 came the expansion of scope on the usage of this standard, and one of the extended scope was bringing in diagnostic imaging, as well as others that we are still trying to understand, like physiological sciences and something else that is there in 15189 and biobanking. So that is the new sub-scheme that was developed and concluded last year, so it is now from my department to roll it over. Now there is another area, sub-scheme, that is under revival. Revive us fire. Yeah, we need that one revived. And I know you know it, the veterans who have been here. Point of care testing. Yeah, apparently we had some very good training supported by CLSI in 2016, isn't it, you remember? But we were not able really to have that move. But now, with the new standard, with the new 4th edition, comes the requirement of us to combine 22870, which was the standalone standard for POCT, and 15189, all that combined. So it becomes an easy sell for medical labs, for hospitals, for emergency, they're called emergency what? Yeah, those emergency places in hospitals, right? The theaters, the ICU, the HDU, to actually embrace point of care. And I would wish that we become the ambassadors for actually POCT. And this is because POCT handles very high-risk tests, sometimes even compared to a medical laboratory. Remember, the decisions from a POCT would mandate a doctor to do a process of note. Now imagine the POCT happening in theater. Someone is under anesthesia, isn't it? Now the doctors have to look at their blood gases or some sugars or some components that are important to either to make a decision to continue, to stop, or do whatever they want to do. Now, do they have time to go to a medical lab to take the samples there? They will not have. But a decision has to be made, isn't it? Now let me take it back. Remember, POCT is being done by who? Non-medical laboratory scientists. Those people who say, we say. You know, those people we love saying, they're not competent in that area. See, that's what we call them. But they're not going to stop doing that. The doctors, the nurses, they're not going to stop doing it. They shall continue to do it. But then we, the medical laboratory professionals, have to support them, right? But then we shall support them not only from the testing, not the testing, the quality assurance aspect, but we also want to support them from the accreditation front, isn't it? So that they can give results that when a doctor uses them to make diagnoses, they totally know it is the right result. I know most of you cannot stand by those blood gases results. Most of you cannot stand by those glucometer results, isn't it? We know we can't. And sometimes maybe it is the reason that someone gets into theater and they never get out. Sindio, tunajua ni hiyo. So please be our ambassadors when it comes to that specific scheme. We trained assessors. You remember yourselves, isn't it? So we shall also be having a campaign come July. Of course, come July, so that we see if this can be pushed out for people to take it up as accreditation to 15189. But remember, it will be an extension of scope. If a lab is already accredited and the hospital brings in POCT, we shall treat it as an extension of scope. The same to diagnostic imaging. We shall treat it as such. So we shall be updating the skills of assessors. Now remember, they're already assessors trained. We shall update your skills through some few training here and there. Tukikosa pesa, we shall definitely do that online. Please bear with us. If we get a sponsor, well and good. If we don't, you shall bear with us. We shall do this online. And again, this is where my cousin, my brother Mutetei comes in to support us when it comes to that specific area. Now, as it is right now, there are specific persons in my department that will be assisting or working on this 3 schemes. So for biobanking and diagnostic imaging, Robert will be handling that. And then for POCT, we shall have, what's her name? Julie Ochola handle that. It's a lot of work, so it has to be divided, isn't it? Otherwise, when you're at this short young girl, this short girl, yes, I still stand by being a short girl and using the word girl. Yes, it might just be, yes, I am a girl. Yes, this short lady here, it might just be a bit too much, and that's why Robert is coming in and Julie to be able to do that, so that we build the capacity in our department. Any question up to there? Any question? Okay, so if there is no question, no clarification on the new areas of development under the department, the next thing that we shall be looking at is Assessor Code of Conduct. And at this point, I will call on Robert to take us through this. It will come. Assessment issues will come after the Code of Conduct, right? So just hold on. I know nimeruka for a reason. Okay. As Robert comes to take this mic, I believe you all have signed the Assessor Code of Conduct, isn't it? And if you haven't signed, I will be sending this to all of us on Wednesday. Nitatuma kwa chat groups, right? Make sure you have read well and signed that Code of Conduct. But before you read it, Robert will help us demystify some of the things when it comes to our conduct as we do the assessment. And it comes all the way from we being appointed as assessors. That means when you are accepting an assessment, then you have to ensure that you're impartial. Remember the impartiality and confidentiality form that we signed? It's still part of our conduct, Code of Conduct, isn't it? We have to make sure that we're impartial. If you have assessed, if you have not assessed, if you have trained a laboratory before, if you had been working in that laboratory, please bring it out so that we assess the degree of impartiality. If you have assessed that lab before, you know that is still that's still you having a contact with the lab, isn't it? Say yes. Don't say not applicable, because some of you say not applicable, yet I know you have done some assessments there. Just put it there so that we are able to do it, see how we can manage the issue of impartiality. Then how we prepare the assessments, from assessment planning to getting in to do the assessment. Please don't fight my clients, assessors. And then how you give the report. But Robert, before I finish what the code says, tafadhali endelea.
That's right. Okay, good afternoon again. Like Doris has said, we have this code of conduct. It's a code of conduct and ethics. And this is not just for KENAS. It is for, it's not just for assessors. It's for all people who work in KENAS as well as assessors who are involved in accreditation. It is not yet on our website. I believe it's going to be uploaded one of these days. I think it's an ongoing review. The document is a policy number 48-1. You will soon be seeing it on the website. Okay. Wait. Code of conduct and ethics. Oh, it's there. Do you have that one? In general. Is that one on the website? Okay. Okay, let me just pull it out. Just 1 minute.
So as Robert pulls that out, please make sure that you go to our website and get this document. And if it's not in the website, it is fine. I shall be sending it on our WhatsApp groups for you to see it and sign. It's called Assessor Code of Conduct. The identifier is ACC-FM-39, version 1. know most of you have seen it. I might talk about version 1, but it might just be an older version. So this document defines the code of conduct that applies to all assessors working on behalf of the Kenya Accreditation Service. Now this conduct, or this document requires that you abide by specific things, right? Just like we abide by the hypocrites law, whatever. Do we abide by that apart from doctors? I don't know what the medical lab people abide to, but it requires that we abide by this before we undertake any assessments.
Okay. This is quite a voluminous document. Apparently, the one that I was talking about previously is a general one. There's one for assessors. I will not go through all of it. I'll just make the highlights. And then from there, we'll make this document accessible to you so that you can just look at it in details. Okay, just like Doris has said, is PL 36, policy number 36-1, is a code of conduct. So the very first is also a declaration, because you're supposed to sign off this document to declare that you're going to abide by the contents of this document. So there is somewhere somebody is supposed to put their signature, their name and signature and date on this document. So the very first thing that appears on it is a conflict of interest. There is also issues of confidentiality. Then the code of conduct declaration. Then a whole list of assessor code of conduct. So I'll just mention a few things. So the conflict of interest here, assessors are supposed to work with integrity, seeking at all times to create positive environment for assessment. So here we all know conflict of interest could be that you're being assigned to assess an organization which you are affiliated with, you have probably worked there, or you have relatives who are there. All the things that could constitute a conflict of interest are stated there. So you are declaring that you do not have any conflict on this one. And this is different from the one that you signed during the assessment. This one you will sign once, and it is kept in your file, okay? Of course, there is requirements for maintaining confidentiality of work conducted. Again, I will not go through that. And then declaration. Assessors are supposed to declare to treat as strictly confidential or information on that. And the list of things that constitutes code of conduct. For example, not to use any such information gained through their roles as an assessor for personal gain. Sometimes we normally go through to do assessment, and sometimes you might find that the client has beautiful documents that you will be interested in. If you go ahead and use such documents, then it means that you are violating the code of conduct, isn't it? So if you find documents that the CAB may have that you may be interested in, how do you go about that? You officially ask for such documents, right? They can give you in your own capacity, and you have to declare the use and all that, yeah? You have to, of course, seek permission from KENAS before you copy or reproduce documents belonging to KENAS. If you go to KENAS website, you will find a lot of documents there for you to use. Of course, you're not allowed to copy them and reproduce them. Strictly, assess strictly in accordance with the scheme standard. Disclose to the accreditation body any relationship. Not take advantage of any relationship with CAB by accepting an inducement. Not acting in any way to prejudicial to the interests of the accreditation scheme. Not accept invitation to speak on behalf of KENAS or represent KENAS as a brand in any way without prior agreements. So many stuff out in that form. I will be sharing this one on platforms that we have so that you can access them. Very good. In the interest of time, I'm told it's only about 5 minutes now to lunch. So this document will be available to you. Please, I think, Doris, they are supposed to sign those who have never signed today, right? So we'll make copies. I'll ask people, Karen, to make copies for us, and then people can sign those who have never signed this document. Okay. I also know that we have a number of new assessors. We shall be reaching out to you if we need any personal documents that, that are required to be in your files. And just by show of hands, who has not gone for any assessment to observe? The new assessors? New? None. Only, and you're already, who has not finished 3? Please note them, Richard, and prioritize them for to go and observe in the next assessment. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert, for that. Thank you, Robert, for that. Sawa, 5 minutes. As Robert takes it, something that is very peculiar here when it comes to the conduct of our assessment. I like number 1 that says assessors shall conduct their work with integrity, seeking at all times to create a positive environment for assessments. You guys know that assessments are really pressureful, if that is a word, time, isn't it? It's too much pressure from the client themselves, and sometimes it comes to us. So it's upon you as the assessor to make sure that you cool down the environment, make it positive, right? For positive outcomes. And as Robert said, please no diverging information that you find during an assessment. Now, guys, the information that we come across during assessment is very sensitive. For soil and water and animals, we don't care much, isn't it? But for medical, it has people's names, and we come across such names. And such names can be our relatives, it can be politicians, it can be some influencers somewhere. Please, ukiona, umeona, hiyo ni yako. Sawa sawa. It really saddens me. There are times I hear niliona results za Mr. Kamau. Ule unakukulia Mr. Kamau wa class 1, hello children. Yeah. And they're like this and this. Guys, that's really heartbreaking when it comes to our assessors. You can't be the one that is doing that. That's something I really needed to point out. Ukiona, funga tu mdomo, umeona. See, after all, we see a lot, because we work in medical labs, isn't it? We see a lot. So please, let's try as much as possible to exercise confidentiality. Now, the other, now to the last one before we go for lunch is assessment-related issues, but they will first come from me before you give me yours. The first one that I have issues with, that I would really wish that we improve moving forth from tomorrow, if not today. The first one is delay in communication of assessment plans by team leaders. Naona tu akinismailia. You know, I have noticed that we usually do communication the last day before the assessment. Now remember, our plan is to assist the client prepare themselves, isn't it? Including making it possible to have your teas and lunches and even persons to be available for witnessing and even acquire samples, isn't it? So we need to do this in advance. At least 2 weeks in advance is good practice. Yes, you can do 1 week in advance because we usually have sent notification to the client early enough. But if you're a team leader, please, even if it was the last minute, let's try reduce them as much as possible, unless it was not possible for you to communicate early in advance. The other one is delay in submitting reports. Yes, I know your letter says we should submit report 5 days after the assessment. I know that is hard. And I can go ahead and add you another 1 week to make it 2 weeks, isn't it? See, 2 weeks is sufficient. You have gone back to work, you have your weekend, sometimes in the evening, because this is consultancy, and you can give me the reports, isn't it? Now, imagine there are some assessors I still follow 6 months down the line. Give me reports, and you're seated here. Aki, don't smile at me. please, yeah, 6 months is really under the belt. Let's not get to such timelines. And of course, I know sometimes it might just be difficult for you to submit within those 2 weeks that I have talked about. But in case then there are challenges or there are delays, it's okay to let us know, isn't it? So that we know how to deal with it. Sometimes our clients are also pressuring us for the same reports. But right now, with the conclusion of the transition period, tafadhali, just give us this in time. The other one is delay in TAT of files. Now here I'm looking at team leaders, but I know sometimes technical assessors, you're a pain in the toes. And I've seen a couple of times lead assessors writing to technical assessors, copying us, inajua mnasemwa hapo. Wakisema nini, please give reports. So technical assessors who just delay too much, please support your team leaders by ensuring that the reports are given on time so that the assessors can turn around those files on QPALs as fast as possible so that we are able to make decisions. Now remember, decisions on surveillance is 1 month maximum. For new labs, CABs, it can be up to 3 months. Now they cannot turn around if we are all delaying as technical assessors. But again, some team leaders, aki lazima wapigiwe simu. Please, can we stop calling you? Come next year. You'll make our lives much easier, isn't it? Thank you. The other one is, and the CEO talked about this, was delay in requesting for payment. Now, in KENAS, we use the principle of first in, first out. You know FIFO in the lab? Now, the same is applied in KENAS. Now, I know there's someone who did an assessment in 2023, and you're asking for your payment last week, and you're saying KENAS is low. And yet, it's really hard, right? Yes, I know we have been having our own challenges internally for making payment ASAP, but that has improved. I know as per this Saturday, you guys are singing hallelujah, isn't it? The bank has been, no, the M-Pesa has been shaking well, isn't it? So, Okay, maybe Robert updated on that one?
A number of them that we have even gone to confirm with the our financier. So the first, I've told them, the first thing that we'll do when we get to the office, maybe Wednesday, is to track those ones, but I believe they are at finance, so that they can be paid. Any person who has not been paid, please make sure, I know you registered with the finance, but also put your name with Richard before you go, so that we can just follow up, provided you give your things.
Yes, please provide all things. Those things that Robert is talking about include an appointment letter. Make sure you get it from us. If you're a lead assessor or technical assessor, especially technical assessor, please take a photo of the attendance registers, right? So that when you're submitting everything in totality. But also make sure you're submitting an invoice and an e-Teams in this case. If you just submit the old one, and your finance is not going to assist you. I know there are some people who have decided not to register e-Teams for reasons known to themselves, and their payment, I think us guys are the ones who will just eat that money because things changed. This is a different government, and we have to work with government regulations, right? So make sure that you provide all documents and provide ASAP. I know there was someone who was telling me, nangoje ifike 50,000 Johnny Itishe. Sasa unangoja ifike 50,000 ndio ukatwe pesa. So please, as you do the assessment and finish and give in the report, please ask for your money so that even if it's finance that is delaying, we have something to stand with, isn't it? We will say yes, they submitted on time. But if it's you who's delaying, submitting late and submitting less documents, then it becomes a bit hard, right? So I think those are the issues that I have, but I would also want you to look at the corrective action plans at times. Just be a bit rigorous. Be a bit rigorous. Sometimes I feel, when I started the medical lab department with the veterans here, I think we were a bit tough, isn't it? In a good way. and we saw quality improve. Sometimes I look at these corrective action plans and I wonder, I niaje huyu assessor? Yani you decided to take that as a root cause, like you never even thought about it. Sometimes I even wonder if you read and accept the root cause, the correction and corrective action. Let's be a bit rigorous. Remember, we are not being rigorous because we don't like the client. We are being a bit rigorous because of what? We want to improve the quality outcomes of our patients, isn't it? And by we being too light on the patient does not help us live what we need to be living as the department, right? And so before we go for lunch, I don't know if you have any issues apart from what I have just said. Those were my issues. Your issues?
One more thing is the signing of the registers. Lead assessors, when you put your name up there as the person facilitating the meeting, you should also make sure that there is a signature. You have signed down there. I know, yes, I know, but those are the rules. Please don't give any, you know the finance people look for the smallest loophole, eh? Please make sure your signatures appear there. Taxi receipts, I said, please submit together with the invoice. Do not include the amount in the invoice. Just print the receipt attached to the invoice. Are we together? Number 3, technical assessors. Please, make work easier for the lead. I have a number of leads here who can testify that sometimes it becomes very difficult even to combine your report with that one of theirs because of the way it is structured. If you have any challenges completing that form, let us know. Always know that there must be a witnessing form for every test that was done. Na tutaki hiyo maneno ya kusema ati you ask about metrological traceability and you put one statement there, QC or adequate. What is that? EQA, adequate. We want to see what EQA did you check, what was the performance, and all those kind of things. I think we should get another session just to go through the reporting, especially for technicals. I am seeing now the lead assessors don't even want to combine your reports with theirs, they just attach. You know why? They spend one day writing their report. They will spend another 1 week formatting yours so that it fits in their report. I think, Doris, we should have a session on reporting, especially for technical, so that we have people doing the good job.
Thank you, Robert, for that. Meskia, technical assessors, please don't give these lead assessors work, a lot of work. You know, in fact, I've been having a lot of lead assessors saying, tumechoka na kazi ya kuwa lead assessor. And they're chokaing because of your work. It becomes really a burden. As any person with another challenge? I have a challenge here. I really need you guys, Robert. Can we have a session for uncertainty of measurements and risk management? I still am wary how risk management is being assessed in the labs, as well as risk assessment, measurement uncertainty and method validation. That's an answer kushap. Method, verification mostly, isn't it? And validation. How many people would want that session, especially the technical assessors? Okay, I'm seeing there are quite a number. It's very important for us to see how we need to assess, what we need to be looking out for, isn't it? Including those calibration certificates. Sometimes I think we just look and we see it's calibrated, then we see it's fine, but what has been calibrated really? We need to open our eyes, right? And I know it can be really challenging when it comes to that. Even those, those QC rules. Si tuko na shida na QC rules, hata sisi wenyewe. Yeah, I think, Robert, we will plan an online meeting. Not a training. I don't want to call it a training so that it doesn't bring issues. We will just call it something for assessors, just to have a discussion how to deal with these issues, because I know they can be crazy, considering we have many disciplines in the medical laboratory area. Sawa sawa. So come July, we will be putting something across for us to see how we can deal with it. In case you have any other areas of concern that you would want us to have a mention, please feel free to get in touch with us. or even put it on our WhatsApp, whatever, chat, isn't it? So that when we are planning, we know we are capturing what is required by all of you. Okay, any other challenge?
Thank you, Doris and team. I just wanted to make a comment. And I think this one, I saw it in one of the slides that the CEO was also projecting. Feedback is very important, especially when even the lead assessors are struggling with the reports. And even the reports that probably are not good. It depends. There's old school, middle school, and the new ones. And probably the new ones who don't know about the old school might be doing the new things that are required. But the guys who are there from a long time, you might find yourself sometimes, doing things the way we used to do them. However, things have changed. So feedback is very important, and feedback coming from the lead assessors and also from KENAS. Don't look at a report, it's a bad report, and then you blacklist, that particular assessor. We hajui kuandika reports. It might not be hajui kuandika reports, but that is exactly what we learned. But, things keep on changing, and that is why we keep on updating ourselves. So what I would request is that, yes, as you say, it is good to update all assessors, and don't get tired of update, and even we can even have like periodic, after every 6 months, an assessor should undergo, like a refresher or something like that, so that we are all at par. Otherwise, we will be struggling, training new people, and struggling again because after some time, they will stick to what they were trained initially. Then you're like, no, these people are not at par, and then you train other new people. So that is my comment. Thank you.
Okay, just before I get to you, very fast, Mary Gasigwa, we got your comments online on the risk management training. We have taken note. And please, assessors, no use of old forms. You have seen that. If you see a form that doesn't have that tick and that new logo, just know it's an old form. If you don't have one, I know people are used to the old logo. If you don't have this one, please ask. And lead assessors should have all the new forms.
Thank you, Robert. Mine is a reaction to what Robert presented for the matter rising. And we are happy that the chief manager is here, the labs. Basically, a year ago, we did say that the remunerations were a bit down, but again, now is a year down the line. So kindly, the chief lab manager, now that KENAS is about compliance, you guys are telling us TIT, 5 days, 2 weeks, 6 months. Now, for the TIT of improvement review of the remuneration, kindly tell the team. And also, because for those of us who are the privilege of working with KENAS right from 207 standard, 2015 and 2022, I think something has to be done. You guys, you missed a lot for those guys who just came the other day. We really enjoyed it. So, chief manager, kindly address the team on the way forward. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, WHO assessor. Mine is on trainee assessors. And I'm thinking we are not doing justice to them. Why am I saying so? For example, in an assessment scenario, you're given a trainee assessor, and then you do your assessment, and then personally, I would appreciate a time where after the assessment, you sit down with this trainee assessor and you deliberate or you discuss some of these things. But you find that those 2 days, that time is not even there because you want to rush, close, and then, do your things, combine, like Robert is saying, combine the whole thing with the technical team leads. It's not coming in, unaenda mpaka saa saba. So the time that you will eat is, the time that you're supposed to be spending with this trainee assessor. So they just come, they witness what you're doing, and, they're just left like that. So I don't know, maybe KENAS should come up with a way so that time is is dedicated for supporting this trainee assessor, because some of us are on our way out, as much as we may look very old.
Thank you, Charles, for that. Thank you. I think it's really important we shall take that so that we impact our trainee assessors positively, isn't it? I know our time is usually short, but we will try and nudge the technical and the lead assessor to see how they can work with the technical trainees to move forth. I'm taking one more comment. Ile mkono ya mjalua pale, cousin.
Thank you, Doris. Yeah, I think some great progress has been made, and we also need to highlight that part of some agreements that we did agree on were not fulfilled, as much as Robert did project and showed a very good picture of resolution. When you know very well, after our meeting, it was well agreed that we should not lump up invoices and charge us the withholding tax. This has continued, and if you reach out to finance, they don't bother to listen to you. Yeah, so can you pass this information that they should not lump our invoices? It is their own undoing not to pay us on time. So please let them not see that I've combined invoice ABC. It is now passed. I don't know, they say what amount. They now charge 25, they charge me withholding. Yet one invoice was just 16,000. So you're combining 3 to charge me a withholding, which is not fair. I also want you to make continued improvement, just as Robert had proposed. This whole idea that you want me to incur cost for an organization like KENAS, that I need to get a taxi, then you will reimburse me, which many occasions you don't. Hold my money for long. You're holding my resource for taxi use. You're holding my resource for consultancy. Why do you want me to incur cost for you as an organization? Can you top up Uber, Little Cab? You have managers here to make approval for travel. I don't need to incur cost for an organization. So that when Doris approves my travel, I get an alert on my phone, authorize travel, to move from point A to point B so that I don't have to incur cost for you and fail to pay me. Yes. And you still are delaying with our consultancy payments. The past week is when you realized there's a conclave, you rushed to pay us, which should not be the case. Yes, promptly you should pay me for work done. That is what management requires. Pay for work done. Yes? Why are you not paying me yet a client has paid? So pass the message that pay me on time. Lastly, we have this animal called document review. KENAS is charging the CAB. It is not easy to review a document, but you are not paying me for doing that work. Why do you want me to do document review for free for you, yet you charge? Pay me for work done. Thank you.
Just to confirm that this was the last comment, Doris? Okay. No more comments, no more questions.
Thank you, cousin. We actually said it was the last one. Wacha sababu ya time, unless it's really burning and different from what the rest have said. Okay. You're the one in campus. And I would wish to apologize on behalf of finance. Yes, I know, and we acknowledge they have gone quiet in most instances. See, I wish ningewaleta hapa lakini they are tied up outside. But we shall pass this communication to them, that there is need for them to communicate back when you write to them, isn't it? Yeah, I know it can be a pain. But I thank you guys for the positive contributions when it comes to upscaling our trainees. I know it is heavy. It is a heavy task given to you to assist them, you know, sharpen their skills when they go in to observe. I wish to thank you so much, technical assessors and lead assessors, for taking your time to help us with that specific activity and unpaid, right? Issues of taxes we have had, issues of payment we have had, issues of, yours was training, isn't it? Yes, we have had, and our people have written that down. Where I have control, I will definitely work on it as Doris. You know I usually move fast. Now the rest on finance, we will definitely move that to them, and of course I know they will do something. Now we need to, yes? Lucy, there was a comment that needed your response.
Yeah, thank you, Doris. There was a question asked, and I was actually intending to perhaps give the response as we do the feedback, which was, if I can see it here, there was good comment on the refresher. I'm not sure that is what you meant, the refresher from time to time. Perhaps scheme managers, we can work on something to host refresher sessions, especially for those on training, to give feedback. There was the issue of feedback, I know. I think you did hear that feedback will be happening at a certain time, 15 days after the assessment is closed, so that we can get feedback also from the CAB. I don't know whether it was the issue of payment and lumping of payments that you had asked about. Oh yes, the consultancies, and there was something, I don't know if I can say this at this time. I think it's something that's being looked at. But on the flip side, let me now come to the matter that is the submission of the invoices. Joshua, I know we've discussed this bilaterally several times. Let us just be submitting the invoices. One of the things, feedback, and a small tip I gave Joshua was, finance, once the invoiced amount goes over the 25,000, it then attracts a special withholding tax. This also happens a lot for when we have an assessment back to back to back within the month. So they look at a month, a billing month, and within that billing month, if you have more than, so they lump the month together and they pay the, the amount less the withholding tax, which is in line with the finance law. So the point now may be, and with the team led by the scheme manager, is to look at how we can structure your assessments so that they are staggered, they don't fall within back to back within the month, so that you're not incurring too much of a heavy tax burden. And we can then, of course, forgive us on this, scale up on timeliness of payment once you submit the report. I know on our part we've done some great improvement, Joshua, I believe. There has been some improvement, albeit the Saturday payment, but we really do appreciate your patience, and we will continue to work harder for the payments to be coming in a timely manner. Immediately your submission of report is done, we endeavor to do your payments. So that is a commitment that we have to work towards. Thank you. I don't know whether there was anything else. Doris, I believe that was it. Oh, the document review issue. Yes. It is something that is still under development. We will feed back on the document review payment once we complete the session, but it is something we know about. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Lucy. I think Alfred's question was to do with increase of the consultancy fee from the current 8,000 to what they had been promised previously. There was a proposal that was put across. I was chairing that committee. And so we hope that come the next financial year, you should be seeing some changes. So we have come to the end of the session, guys. And again, I wish to thank you so much for being such wonderful assessors, for accepting to walk this heavy journey with us. Indeed, I know it's not easy. It's not easy working with our clients. You know, our clients can be very crazy. They can give you bad accommodation. Sorry, Agnes, for last week. Yes, we see some places and we just wonder how a human being can give someone such a bad accommodation, but well, it happens. But you can bear with us, we move swiftly, isn't it? We shall continue working with our clients as well as procurement team to ensure that you are accommodated where you should be accommodated as per our policy, and that is a 4-star facility or hotel where it is possible to do so. But even where it's not possible, we shall not give you some places that look like drainage. But once again, as we come to the end, I wish to thank you. If I never get a chance to say thank you, I wish to thank you for walking with us the journey of medical laboratory assessment leading to accreditation. And I look forward to, you know, the future, a brighter future. You know, we having all our facilities, especially where we are coming as assessors, being accredited, and of course improving quality, not only in Kenya, but in Africa as general, because right now we have people all over this continent being presented here as assessors. So do not tire, even when it's hard. It's even harder for us when we're in the office. Don't tire. Please, please sometimes be a bit kind to us, because your kindness is what gives us the strength to go on. But with that, I wish to thank you so much as you go for lunch. Sijui ni bless lunch yenyu, Nailed Prayer High School. For health and strength and daily food, we praise your name, O Lord. Amen. Thank you, guys. You now can go for lunch. Macho, I don't know if there are lunch vouchers, Mr. Motete. Okay, they're out here. Motete will show us where lunch is served. Can they leave their laptops here? Can they? It will be locked, huh? Thank you, it will be locked, so you can leave your laptops.